Hello, we're still in the winter months here at Home Grown Veg, but we've got our first seeds sown indoors, and as usual it's onions and leeks, and in this video we're going with onions. Okay, this for me is the new kid on the block, Walla Walla. I've never grown Walla Walla before, so I'm really looking forward to growing that onion. This one's a staple of mine, I grow it every year. This is Ailsa Craig. Now as you can see, Ailsa Craig hasn't germinated yet. Walla Walla has got good germination. These onions have been in 10 days, and the packet tells me we should be expecting germination between 14 and 21 days. So these have really shot on. Nothing as yet from Ailsa Craig. But if Ailsa Craig fails to make an appearance in the next week or two, then I'll ditch this and start again. Okay? So what do we do with these onions once they get bigger? Well, we grow them through into about March, maybe even later than that, depending on the weather. But they'll stay in these yogurt pots certainly till March, and they'll be a lot bigger come March, and then we need to move them outdoors. And I usually plant these onions up into a raised bed. And if there are any left over, I'll plant them up into a 10-inch water bucket. And if there are still any left over, I'll plant them up into a yogurt pot. Just put an onion in one of these, let it grow on, see how it does. Now I've got some video from previous years. I want to show you an onion that's been grown on in a yogurt pot. Seeing is believing. Honestly, I didn't think I'd get an onion this size growing in a yogurt pot. And if I just showed you a still, you wouldn't believe that onion had grown in that yogurt pot. But it's a little clip of video that'll prove that it did. Watch that video, then come back to me. Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy that video? So yes, I had some more onions left over, and I planted 4 in a 10-inch water bucket. Now Ailsa Craig's a big onion, and so I thought at the outset 4 would be about as much as a 10-inch water bucket could take. And I think this video proved me correct. Now I'm going to cut you to that video now. It's a 2-part video. I'll start off by showing you the onions in the water bucket, and then from memory it was some video I shot indoors, and I was unable to take the onions from the bucket because there was just going to be a load of mess. So I put some footage in there of me and the dogs on the local seashore. Watch that, then watch the remainder of the video to see those onions that come out of that 10-inch water bucket. Hey, that was a result, and then come back to me. Right, what we're doing today, we're going to look at some onions that I sowed earlier in the year. We're going to harvest them today and we're going to weigh them, and I think you might be surprised at what you're going to see. Okay, and these are onions that were started in a yoghurt pot in garden soil, grown on indoors, then planted out into a 10-inch water bucket, which is about the same size as a domestic water bucket. Okay, so we put some soil in here. We've got the 4 holes in the bottom, okay, for drainage. And let's have a look at what those onions might have looked like 4 weeks down the line. Okay, this is something I've shown you before. This is just a cut off pop bottle, cut off at the bottom with some paper sellotape to it to act as a reflector to give whatever's growing in that pot the best light possible. This will reflect light, so they get all around light. Right, let's see what those onions might have looked like after 4 weeks in the yoghurt pot. Okay, there Ailsa Craig's 4 weeks after being sown. Not much to look at there, is there? Check this out. This is 4 months after being sown. So we go in here 4 weeks, and then when they're big enough, and I would say these would be big enough in a month's time, a month and a half's time, these were potted on into a 10-inch water bucket. Let me show you this. And there are 4 onions in this bucket. Whoa, how about that? I think I'm going to need to adjust the camera, I'm fairly sure I am. Hey, what do you think of that? From that to that in 4 months in that pot. Come on. They're enormous. Right. So what we're going to do now is, these are 4 pop bottles stapled together. I normally put these on it to act as wind breaks, because when these onions first go outdoors it is probably quite windy. We're in the spring of the year, and I just don't want them to get blown over, so I put these in, and I support them using sticks. I just put some sticks in. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take these off, let you get a better look at these onions, but then I'm going to take them away from this table somewhere where I can take them out of the pot without making too much of a mess indoors. Then I'm going to bring them back, show you them, and we're going to weigh them. Does that sound good? We'll see what weight of onions we've got from this small 10-inch water bucket. Okay. Now, if these guys are ready to be harvested, they should just fall over, shouldn't they? Let me pop these sticks to one side. There we go, let's take these off. Are you ready for this? That wasn't scripted, it just happened. Let me stand them up again, give you another shot of that. Okay, so as you can see, the necks have gone. These onions are ready to be harvested. And what I've noticed actually is one of these onions is actually split into two. So we're not going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 onions, we're going to get 5 onions. It just gets better. And I hope the camera can look into that pot, but I think as you can see, there ain't much space left in there, is there? Those onions are shoulder to shoulder. Can you see that? Those onions are shoulder to shoulder. Can you see that? Okay, I'm going to take this away, get these onions out of this bucket, and then we'll take a closer look and we'll weigh them. We'll see what we've got for our efforts. Well, this is taking longer than I thought it would. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to dovetail in now some video I shot this morning of me and the dogs on the seashore, and then I'll come back to you with the onions. We'll just pop this tea towel over the top of this bucket. We'll stick the onions on there. That's a big onion, come on, that's a big onion. Out of a small 10-inch water bucket. And this is the guy that's split. So what we'll do is we'll take a couple of skins off, like this. How's that? And then we'll just break it like this. How's that? 2 for the price of 1. It just gets better, doesn't it? 2 for the price of 1. So we've now got 5 onions from this this 10-inch water bucket. Let me pop them down there. I always like to leave about 3 or 4 inches on of stem on the onion. I think it helps to keep disease from going down the neck when the onions are in storage. I'm not too sure if that's true, but that's what I do anyway. Okay, I'll just go and get the scale. Oh, I forgot we had 5. I'd done 4, I thought we were finished. We've got 5, haven't we? Okay, I'll just go and get the scales. Okay, we're going to go with the biggest first. And that is a big onion. For an onion grown outside in a water bucket. What have we got? Is that just over £1 for 1 onion? Right, let's put the rest of them on there if we can get them to stand. What's it looking like? And this guy's going to have to pop in the middle. What have we got? Hey, come on, that's a result. That is a result. 3 1/4 pound of onions. Started off in a yoghurt pot, grown on in a small water bucket, stood on my patio, stood in my garden. That is a result. Do you agree? Daft question, I know you agree. That's a result. So I hope you've enjoyed this this video. Give me a thumbs up if you have. And just before I go, I've got 3 dogs flat out in here. I'm just going to try and gently lift this camera around and let you have a look at them. That's Dottie, the Patterdale Terrier. Whoa, where's that? I need to go down for this one. That's Tess, dark brindle lurcher, flat out, listening to my voice. I must have that effect on these dogs. They're all asleep. I've put them to sleep, and right round. And that's Fern, the red brindle lurcher. I know what you're saying. Where's Molly? Well, when these three visit, Molly likes her own space. So I think she's through in the living room. She's got pride of place. We couldn't wind this video without showing you Molly. Hi Moll. As I've opened the living room door, Molly's just wakened up. The only one not asleep in this house is me. Okay, so this is Home Grown Veg, signing out. Well, how about that? How about that? Have you enjoyed this video? 1 onion in a yoghurt pot, 4 onions in a 10-inch water bucket. It can be done. I know it can be done. I've done it. You just saw it on video. You might want to give this a shot. You may want to give it a go. If you're growing onions in a raised bed, you'll probably have some spare. Stick them in a bucket. Try one in a yoghurt pot. See how it goes for you. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Home Grown Veg, signing out.